As we prepare for these storms, many in northern Arizona worry about their communities being flooded out once again.
Yeah, we took to Flagstaff 2 weeks ago after the devastating flooding rolling off the burn scars. It did more than $1 million in damage to dozens of homes. Tonight, Nicole Grigg goes back to Flagstaff to see what is and isn't being done to prepare for more storms.
Okay, so we're a total mess.
Lindsay Cooch taking us inside her home that flooded nearly 2 weeks ago.
But the water came out like all the way under here.
The damage is extensive for her and her neighbors in the Sunnyside area of Flagstaff.
Do you guys have flood insurance?
No. So we were going to get it back in 2019, and they told us that we had to have upfront payment. So over $600, pay it up front, and it's good for only a year. We can't afford it right now.
ABC 15 using our drone to give you an aerial view of what's happening. Flash flooding comes down the burn scars of Mount Eldon, then onto Grandview Drive. There are Jersey barriers that direct the water towards Sunnyside, where it bottlenecks and the water just finds its own path.
And I feel like this area it gets neglected. It always does.
People like Mark Apodaca reaching out to us. He feels his neighborhood is the last to receive help.
I've requested Jersey barriers along here since they're channeling it this way, kind of like Grandview. No response.
Two things we want to make sure is clear in this story. These homes, they were built decades ago in floodplains, but this was at a time where back then it was legal. Another thing, these people who live here, they just can't pack up and move. They are losing property value every single day.
It takes a lot of money to fix that.
Dr. Ben Ruddle from Northern Arizona University studies hydrology. We asked him if those Jersey barriers that tunnel the water are enough.
It's hard to call that a solution. That's flood protection. That's an effort by the city to protect some of the houses in Sunnyside from an inevitable flooding problem.
Dr. Ruddle also tells us the flooding we've already seen is just the beginning.
Math makes it a statistical certainty. It's just a question of when it's going to happen.
He says there are a lot of hard decisions to be made, like properly fixing infrastructure that will cost millions and millions of dollars. One drainage system here in the Sunnyside area is just a few feet wide. Dr. Ruddle says it needs to be 100 times larger to handle that water coming down from the burn scars.
Jersey barriers, sandbags, that's just buying us a little bit of time. Another option on the table is to invest in large-scale projects that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, condemning property, eminent domain for property, and moving people out of the way.
And those decisions go beyond the local lawmakers.
It's not an engineering decision, it's a political decision. We have to decide whether we're going to spend the money to get that done or not, and who's going to end up paying for it. That's a political question. It's a leadership question.
This is my husband.
People like Lindsay dealing with flood after flood, they're forced to make tough decisions too. You see, her husband, who spent decades as a hotshot crew, he needs a kidney, and the place they call home is barely that anymore.
For us, we can't bring him home to an environment that's not clean, that has type 3 sludge all over the place, it has rotten walls, we can't afford that.
Now, we have requested an on-camera interview with the city and the county, but that interview was canceled today. Now, they did have an engineering summit last week where they brainstormed ideas and solutions. However, all of those take time. Reporting in Flagstaff, Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.